Hello friends, our new topic is thermochemical equation. What do you mean by thermochemical equation? A chemical equation which indicates the heat change occurring during the reaction is known as thermochemical equation. That means in a reaction how much of energy is liberated, heat energy is liberated, or how much energy is absorbed by the system. If the value also that we are indicating in the chemical equation, that equation is said to be a thermochemical equation. A thermochemical equation can be written in two ways. First one is that by writing the heat involved or evolved or absorbed as a term along with the products. For example, A plus B gives C. If this is a chemical equation is taking place, then the energy will be written as A plus B gives C plus 100 kilojoules of energy. That means energy liberated also will be written along with the products. It will be considered as a product like that, and we will be writing and on the right hand side of the chemical equation, or else or it can be written as a and in terms of delta H value by expressing the heat evolved or absorbed in terms of delta H. For example, you can see the equation carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide gas plus 393.5 kilojoules. That means as it's an exothermic process, that means 393.5 kilojoules of energy will be liberated. Or the same equation can be represented in terms of what delta H value. That means after the chemical equation you have to mention the value of delta H. So C plus O2 gives CO2. Along with that one, delta H is equal to minus 393. Keep in mind, for an exothermic process delta H value will be always negative. For an endothermic process delta H value will be always positive. Okay, it is very important to mention the physical states of the various reactants and products while writing the thermochemical equation, because change of the state is also accompanied by the enthalpy changes. Okay, and the coefficients in a balanced thermochemical equation refer the number of moles of the reactants and products involved in the reaction. As usual, we can say the same thing. And the numerical value of delta H0 refers to the number of moles of substance specified by an equation. Standard enthalpy change will have the unit kilojoules per mole. Now we can see the important conventions about thermochemical equation. The first one, for exothermic reaction delta H is negative, and for endothermic reactions delta H value is positive, that we have already mentioned. And second point is that in a thermochemical equation, physical states of the reactant, physical state means whether it's solid, liquid or gas, or if it is aqueous solution AQ or vapor VAP, that states of the reactants and products should be specified. The third point is that when the coefficients of a chemical equation is multiplied or divided by some number, delta H value also must be multiplied or divided by the same number. For example, in the equation which is given, hydrogen plus oxygen gives H2O. While writing balanced chemical equation, we never used to give fractions. To avoid the fraction, we are multiplying it with a value 2. Upon the equation becomes 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O, but along with that one delta H value also has to be multiplied with 2 itself, so the value will be minus 484 kilojoules. That means whatever may be the mathematical operation that we do for a chemical equation, the same operation has to be done for that delta H value also. That's an important point. That is, once again, whatever may be either a division or multiplication, that means mathematical operation that we do for a chemical equation, the same operation has to be done for the delta H value also. Okay, the last point, when a chemical equation is reversed, the magnitude of delta H value remains the same, but the sign is reversed. For example, H2 plus half O2 gives H2O, that is the value, delta H value is equal to minus 242. For the reverse reaction, what is the reverse reaction? H2O gives H2 plus half O2. For that reaction, delta H will be plus 242 kilojoules per mole. So these are the important what characteristics or properties of thermochemical equation. Using that, you have to do some numericals, so you'll have to keep in mind all the points. Okay, so this is about thermochemical equation. About chemical equation which indicates the heat change occurring during the reaction is known as the thermochemical equation. The important points are that for exothermic reaction, delta H value will be positive. Sorry, for exothermic, delta H value will be negative. For endothermic, it will be positive. Our next topic is Hess's law. In 1840, G.H. Hess, a Russian chemist, proposed an important generalization of thermochemistry known after his name as Hess's law. According to this law, the enthalpy change in a chemical reaction is same whether the reaction takes place in one step or several steps. This means that the enthalpy change in a reaction is always the same and is independent of the path by which the reaction is brought about. So it states that if a reaction takes place in several steps, then its standard reaction enthalpy is the sum of standard enthalpies of the intermediate reactions into which the overall reaction may be divided at the same temperature. For example, if you are considering a reaction between A, reaction of conversion of A into B. If the reaction is taking place in a single step, we can write down A gives B itself. Sometimes the reaction will be undergoing a number of steps. That means first the A will be converted into C, then C will be converted into D. After that only that D will be converted into B. That means instead of taking a single step, that reaction will be undergoing a large number of steps in between. So yeah, such situation we can make use of what the Hess's law. That means in the slide we can see conversion of A to B. That's a normal reaction. That B is the product, and the enthalpy change is equal to delta HR. But the reaction first it will be A will be converted into C, that's intermediate step. For that delta H1, C to D, that is delta H2, and D to B, delta H3. So as per the Hess's law, total enthalpy, that is delta HR is equal to delta H1 plus delta H2 plus delta H3. This is very important law. And what are the applications of Hess's law? Is the first law to determine the enthalpy of reaction. That is determination of enthalpy of formation, determination of enthalpy of transition of allotropic forms. All these are the applications of Hess's law. Now we have a problem in text question, problem 6.8. The combustion of 1 mole of benzene takes place at 298 Kelvin and 1 atm. After the combustion, carbon dioxide and water are produced and 3267 kilojoules of heat is liberated. That is its exothermic reaction. Calculate the standard enthalpy of formation of benzene. Standard enthalpies of formation of carbon dioxide and water are given as minus 285 and 393 joules. Okay, so what's the question? We have to find out the enthalpy of formation of benzene. Benzene formula is C6H6. According to the definition for enthalpy of formation, 1 mole of benzene has to be formed. So equation must be 6 carbon plus 3H2 gives C6H6. Okay, what is the enthalpy formation of that value that is given? That is what we have to ask. We have to calculate delta F H0. And what are the data are given? First one, the enthalpy of combustion of 1 mole of benzene is given. Combustion means reaction with the oxygen. So C6H6 plus 15 by O2 gives us CO2 plus 3H2O. Delta H value is equal to minus, because we know it is an exothermic reaction. For exothermic reaction, delta H value should be negative. And enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide and water is given. That means C plus O2 gives CO2 and H2 plus half O2 gives H2O. For all these things we know it should be for 1 mole as per the definitions. Okay, for everything it should be 1 mole. And in the required equation, that is 6C plus 3H2, we have 6 carbon and 3H2. We have the equation which is having carbon on the left hand side, so that equation has to be multiplied by 6, and other equation has to be multiplied by 3. Keep in mind, while multiplying a chemical equation, thermochemical equation, delta H value also has to be multiplied. Okay, so everything will be ready. In the required equation, benzene, that is C6H6 is in the right hand hand side, but we have an equation that is combustion of benzene, but it will be present in the left hand side. So the equation number 2, which is given in the textbook, has to be reversed. While reversing a chemical equation, delta H value will be, magnitude will be the same but sign reversed. You will have to take that value also. The equation becomes 6 carbon, sorry, when we are reversing the equation becomes 6CO2 plus 3H2O gives benzene plus 15/2 O2, and the value will become delta H0 is equal to plus 3267.0 kilojoules per mole. And we just add these three chemical equation, so that we will be getting the value of delta H0 as it is equal to 48.51 kilojoules. Try to solve the problem. Nothing is there, no chemistry behind it, but that statements has to be converted into mathematical chemical equations. After that, according to the equation, that means how many carbon atoms are there, how many carbon atoms or hydrogen atoms are there, according to that equation has to be balanced, and find out the answer. Okay, the next one is that Gibbs energy. We have seen already the Gibbs energy change, that is delta. What is Gibbs energy? Gibbs energy, G is equal to H minus Ts. G is the Gibbs energy, H is the enthalpy, T is the temperature, S is the entropy. Okay, so using this formula you can find out delta G is equal to delta H minus delta S, and for a spontaneous process delta G must be a negative value. And how will find out standard Gibbs energy change? Delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln K, or that is equal to minus 2.303 RT log K. K is the equilibrium constant, we have seen already that. Okay, so using these formulas you can find out delta G. And if that important point is that for a spontaneous process, the delta G0 value should be negative. If delta G0 is the value is smaller than 0, the process is spontaneous. If delta G0 value is positive, that means greater than 0, the process is said to be non-spontaneous process. Okay, so using this one you can find out that Gibbs energy change delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Thank you.